Hello everyone, this is Oh My Giona, and today I'm gonna finally do a Korean drama review. First of all, I want to apologize for the lack of this content in my channel. When I finished Run On, I thought I would just pick up a drama and it would feel so good that I would want to talk about it here. But unfortunately, I didn't get that. There are a few dramas that I enjoyed since Run On, but for some reason, I just didn't feel like turning the camera on and talking about it and all that stuff. But today, finally, I've been waiting for this drama for so long since the casting came out. I was like, I have to watch this. It's a new drama called Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. The Korean title is Kim Maul Cha-Cha-Cha. And since the casting came out, it was gonna be Shin Mina and Kim Seon-ho. I was all over this drama. And finally, it came out. And I watched the first 2 episodes, hoping, please, let this be good. And it was really good. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a review for this drama. And hopefully it would still be good up until the end. So this drama is called Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. And from what I've gathered from watching it, it's about the main character's name is Yoon Hye-jin. She's a dentist, and the male lead is Hong Do-sik, and I'm not quite sure what he is yet, but he's kind of like a jack of all trades. He does everything. He knows how to do everything. He knows everyone, but I'm not quite sure what he is exactly. So I looked it up just because I was curious who wrote this and who's directing. And oh my gosh, no wonder. So the director's name is Yoo Jae-won. I was like, that rings a bell. I just can't remember which drama exactly he directed. But, okay, listen. So he did Oh My Ghost. He did Tomorrow With You. And he did Hi Bye Mama. And all those dramas, well, he did a lot more than this, but I'm not familiar with them. So these 3, I really enjoyed these dramas. And it makes so much sense because I really felt that it had the same touch as Tomorrow With You, which Shin Mina was also in that drama. And I was really glad. The writer's name is Shin Ha-eun. I think she might be a newbie. Like the only thing under her name was this drama, and then there's Crown Clown with Yoo Jin-gu, but it seems like she was a co-writer in that one. So I'm really excited to see what she has for us here. So I'm going to talk about episode 1 and episode 2 together just because I watched them together. Well, one after the other. It was a really good pilot. It started with Hye-jin, and we see her do her daily routine. She lives in Seoul, so she's a city girl. She works as a dentist. She's quite nice, but she doesn't seem to be very friendly with people she doesn't know, which I totally understand. We don't usually know who our neighbors are these days, but she's very kind. She is competent. She is good at her job. She's upright. She does what's right. It doesn't matter if her boss was yelling at her to give the patients things that would make them pay more, like basically ripping them off. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And she'd rather resign. And I'm like, whoa, that's very new for us because we're so used to female leads being stepped on, especially in the beginning. They're like the candies of K-dramas, and we see them be from this person who's really weak-hearted to this person who stands up for themselves. But here we see Hyejin, and she's already, I already like this character. She steps up for herself, for other people. She knows what to do. And she takes responsibility for them. But then, because she resigned, now she doesn't have a job, and she kind of messed that up and like talked bad about her boss, and now nobody wants to hire her. And so she went to this a village far from Seoul. It's in Gwangju, and just things happened. It was really crazy, but a lot of things happened to her, and she ended up having to spend the night in this village that she thinks is too small for her. It's a seaside village, and it smells like fish. She doesn't like that. She's pretty high end, and this village is totally not like her. But then she meets this lady who owns a restaurant. Shout out to her. She played May. She played May Onni in Run On, and as soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh, this drama is gonna be awesome. But she met this lady, and that lady told her, you know what, we don't have a dentist in this area, and so we have to go 30 minutes from here, like to travel 30 minutes from here to reach a dentist, and that's really a problem for them. And she said, like, if you ever decide to come here and start your own practice, you're very much welcome. And she just brushed it off, right? But then things happened again. And she ended up starting her own practice here. And that's how episode 1 went. And I love like the usual U-turn. We actually get it in the first episode. And it wasn't because she had to chase like the guy, chase whatever. But she was there because she decided by herself that she's gonna do this. She's gonna start her own clinic. And then in the second episode, she moves in, and she has problems with dealing with her neighbors. Like, she is this kind of person who, like, I can totally relate to her. I personally don't like talking to people who I don't know. And honestly, if you don't know someone, you don't really care about what they do or what their past is like. And I get her, because I'm exactly the same. I would listen to people, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I care. It's really mean, but yeah, I get her. But then it's a problem because she's starting her own dental clinic here, and she needs the people to go to her so she can earn money, right? And like this second episode was all about that, and her realizing I'm very different from the people here, and I feel like I don't belong. But then the second episode ends with her kind of working her way through that, and it's like one step at a time, right? And so I didn't even talk about the male lead yet. Kim Sun-ho, he's playing Hong Do-sik, and as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't sure exactly what he does. He's kind of like the village chief. Well, not necessarily, but like he does errands for everyone, basically. He doesn't know how to say no. And his introduction was so cool. He was riding the ship, and he was just at the front looking so cool, But I feel like Kim Sun-ho, I don't even think he can ride a ship looking so cool like that. I was watching like the first few episodes of One Night, 2 Days, and he was such a klutz. So, I don't know. Anyway, Do-sik, I think he's he is very kind and he's very thoughtful. Definitely there is a lot about him. We didn't see a lot of his motivation. Like, we saw him helping people. You know, he's the type of person who would go around, like walk around the whole village just to tell the elderly not to worry, that there was a fire. That's why there's no internet connection. The phones are not working, but it will be fixed and it's going to be okay. At one point, he even goes to this grandma and he was using sign language. And he was speaking a different language too, with like the fisherman guy. I wasn't sure what language it is. I'm sorry. Sounded kind of like German, but don't take my word for it. Anyway, he seems very smart. He knows to do a lot of things. And he's nice to everyone, except to her. Like, well, I mean, he was nice to Hyejin as well, but he was kind of tough on her. But then we saw in like the epilogue for the first episode that he saw her at the beach and he had this look like he was curious about her, and he keeps seeing her around, and he saw how he saw how she is actually nice, like when she helped the kids, and she's nice, right? That's why Dushik was helping her get along with the villagers. But there definitely is a lot to know about him, and I'm very excited. About the villagers, we have a lot of variety in here. There was the lady who owns the restaurant. She's very nice. Oh Yoon, I think his actual name is Chunjae. He owns the cafe in the village, and he used to be a singer, but then he didn't really become popular, and and he obviously has regrets about that, which we saw a lot more in the second episode. There was the pregnant lady who owns the supermarket. There's the lady who owns the Korean Chinese restaurant. We saw the grandmas. Who else? There were the kids. The two kids were the same age. Who else am I forgetting? But it seems that there are a lot of awesome people played by wonderful actors as well. And it's crazy because, maybe I should. No, that's spoiler for Tomorrow with You. But the owner of the cafe, Oh Yoon, he also was in the drama Tomorrow with You with Shin Mina, which was really interesting. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna see a lot of touching stories in here. They've been hinting about that too. Like, it seems like, because if you just look at them, you know, they're very kind, they're outgoing, very nice people. But then we saw kind of like a scene with each of them looking like they have their own stories, and I'm very sure we're gonna cry. And I also want to talk about the setting here. Like how episode 1 started. It was the sea, and then the bridge in Seoul, the nature, and then the buildings in Seoul. It was showing us the contrast of where the two leads are from, with Hyejin being a city girl, and this is what she's used to. And then we see Dushik living by the seaside and all that. And I always like dramas that do this. I live in a city, but it's not really like a very big city. But it's also not very, I mean, it's a city, so there would be like buildings and all that stuff. Not very like how a province or a small village would look like. And so whenever I watch dramas with this kind of setting, I really appreciate it. I love the look of nature, and this drama has that. I'm not sure if this is the same place where they filmed Samchiseki, 3 meals a day, the fishing village edition. Because like that fork in the road kind of looked like it. So I'm not sure, but it was really nice to see. It reminded me of When the Weather is Fine, with Pang Min-young in So Kang-jun, and how she used to live in a city and then she moved to this small village, which was her hometown. And it always makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and I just like seeing nature like this in dramas. Also, early on, we saw this. We kind of feel that they are faded, you know. They showed a little bit of their childhood and when they most likely first met as kids. And usually, I don't like it when dramas go to that like we're faded route. But I guess as I got older, I kind of appreciate it more because technically everything in our lives, like, they're connected, you know. Things that are bound to happen would happen anyway, and they show it here really nicely with Yejin going to the seaside village, and things just happened to her. She lost her shoe. Her car, the battery died. Like, she didn't have money. There was a fire, and her card was not working because, like, the card reader wasn't working. ATMs were not working. She ended up having to, like, take out the innards of the squid for just to earn a little bit of money. She couldn't go back to Seoul because there was a problem with her car. She, like, all these things that she was, like, so annoyed because, like, why are all these things happening to me all at once? But if you look at it from a different perspective, it's like the world was telling her, girl, you gotta stay here. This is where you belong, and, like, don't go kind of thing. It was just so funny because me, like, I'm not her, so I can see, like, other things that she doesn't. But, you know, when things like that happen, I feel like you shouldn't fight it. You kind of just have to enjoy it. She eventually gave in and decided to stay in this village, move in here, and start her clinic. And I feel like it would be the best decision she made in her whole life. I also really like their topic revolving around regret, especially in the second episode. It's just that Dushik also talked about this. Just because you live life like this doesn't mean everybody else lived life the way you did, and everyone has a story, and it's not all about you, which I think is a big problem for Hyejin. She always just thinks about herself in her perspective, and that's why she had a really big problem with the neighbors, because she was just thinking of herself and not thinking about what other people feel. I think this is gonna be like a learning journey for her to be more sympathetic of what other people are going through. It was super sweet when because I was thinking she should just apologize to Chonjae for saying that, oh, he should have tried harder if he should have tried harder if he wanted to be famous as a singer. But yeah, I thought, why can't she just go and apologize to him? It would fix the problem. But I like how they showed her realizing her mistake and listening to his album and listening to it genuinely, and then she went to him and apologized, but she also said, you know what, I didn't like your title song, but there's this one song in your album that I really, really like listening to. And that made him so happy. It was like a small thing. She hurt him real bad with what she did, but that small, genuine thing that she did made him really happy. And I appreciate how they did that. Because, you know, usually for kids, we tell them, okay, say sorry because you did something bad. But kids, they don't get it. Like, why do I have to say sorry? But then they say it anyway. And that's not genuine, right? So I really, like, for my kids, I try to make them understand, like, what happened here and what they did wrong, and to apologize when they're ready. Because an apology that you just say it doesn't really do anything, not for you and not for the other person. So I really appreciate how they did it here. And it seems like Hyejin has regrets of her own, because there was a part where she kind of stopped and thought about it, and like, yeah, there's something there. And I mean, this is just the second episode. I shouldn't be too impatient, because probably we will see it in the later episodes. But I'm really, really curious what's in there. It could be about her mom. Her mom passed away. So, and it seems like Dushik has a story of his own too. Oh, I can't wait. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. And I just love it. They already have this chemistry. Oh my gosh, Shinmina and Kim Sono, they look good together. I'm so happy to see them on screen. The last time I saw Kim Son-ho was like in 100 Days, My Prince. And Shinmina, my gosh, I haven't seen her in anything since Tomorrow with You. Like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, I was super excited about this show. And now that I've seen the first 2 episodes, I'm even more hyped for what's to come. And yeah, I think like each episode we would be dealing with each villager and their story, and this is how Hyejin would learn a little bit more about how to like about her relationship with other people, and maybe Dushik would learn from her journey as well. And it's really cool because it's not like both of them are in the bottom and they need to like upgrade themselves. It's not like that. Like they're fine by themselves, you know. But I love how they're showing us that even though you are competent and you're good on your own, right? But there will always be something for us to learn, especially from other people who went through life a little bit differently than we did. And I'm really excited. So yeah, if you have seen this show, let me know in the comments below what you think. Did you like it? Did you not? What are the things that you like about it or you didn't like? And if you haven't seen this, maybe you should give it a try. I really recommend it, at least from the 2 episodes that I've seen so far. Yeah, let's talk about this show in the comments below, and I will be back next week for when episode 3 and episode 4 comes out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put 3 and 4 together, but we'll see how it goes. Depends on my schedule. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It feels so good to review a Korean drama after so long. You guys have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!